Good morning. This is Father Stephen Kelly from St. John's Church in Detroit. We're continuing our series of daily morning meditations, where we generally look at one or another lessons that are assigned for morning or evening prayer, what is known as the Daily Office Lectionary. Let's continue our way looking at, for this Tuesday, continue to look at St. Stephen's account of the history of salvation. St. Stephen has been arrested. He's being brought up on charges that he's somehow ruining the Jewish religion. And St. Stephen, of course, is talking about the fulfillment of God's promise to the people of the original covenant by the sending of a Savior, Jesus Christ. And so we've been working our way through St. Stephen's account. We'll pick up on chapter 7, beginning at verse 17. But when the time of promise drew nigh, which God had sworn to Abraham, the people grew and multiplied in Egypt, till another king arose, which knew not Joseph. The same dealt subtly with our kindred, and evil entreated our fathers, so that they cast out their young children, to the end that they might not live. At which time Moses was born, and was exceeding fair, and nourished up in his father's house 3 months. And when he was cast out, Pharaoh's daughter took him up and nourished him for her own son. And Moses was learned in all the wisdom of the Egyptians, and was mighty in words and in deeds. And when he was a full 40 years old, he came into his heart to visit his brethren, the children of Israel. And seeing one of them suffer wrong, he defended him and avenged him, as was oppressed, and smote the Egyptian. For he supposed his brethren would have understood how that God by his hand would deliver them, but they understood not. And the next day he showed himself unto them as they strove, and would not have said one, saying, Sirs, ye are brethren, why do ye wrong one another? But he that did his neighbor wrong thrust him away, saying, Who made thee a ruler and a judge over us? Wilt thou kill me as thou didst that Egyptian yesterday? Then Moses fled at this saying, and was a stranger in the land of Midian, where he begat 2 sons. And when 40 years were expired, he appeared unto him in the wilderness of Mount Sinai, an angel of the Lord in the flame of a fire in a bush. Moses saw it, he wondered at the sight, and as he drew near to behold it, the voice of the Lord came unto him, saying, I am the God of thy fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. And Moses trembled, and durst not behold. Then said the Lord to him, Put off thy shoes from thy feet, for the place where thou standest is holy ground. I have seen the affliction of my people, which is in Egypt, and I have heard their groaning, and I am come down to deliver them. And now come, and I will send thee into Egypt. Okay, so here we have the story. Stephen is continuing to tell the story of salvation, and now we're moved up from Abraham through Joseph, and now Joseph, after the death of Joseph, the people of Israel become enslaved in Egypt under a newer king, and Moses ends up being the one who God has chosen to be the Savior, the deliverer. And of course, not everything goes smoothly at first. I mean, Moses was raised up as an Egyptian, but he doesn't forget his heritage as a Jew, as a member of the original covenant. And then, of course, God uses him ultimately to be the one who will lead the people of Israel out of their bondage in Egypt. But Moses has some purification to get done. And so we know he lived until the age of 40 with the Egyptians, from 40 to 80, another 40 years, lived out with his father-in-law, with Jethro, and his wife and children, and then came back. God sent him back after the appearance in the burning bush, sent him back into Egypt in order to free his people. And in fact, there's a wonderful monastery built. It's called St. Catherine's Monastery in the Sinai, at the base of the Sinai Peninsula, the Mount Sinai in the Sinai Peninsula. And it is there that the monastery is where that burning bush actually is reputed to have appeared. So it's really quite an amazing monastery, Orthodox monastery. Fantastic. So today's Tuesday. We do have 12:15 Holy Communion, and today's the Feast of St. Norbert. If you don't know who he is, you'll have to come join us or watch the live stream. And then, of course, evening prayer at 4 p.m., God willing. And I hope that we will see you in church or on our live stream. May your Tuesday be full of blessings.